don't like when you mess with their classic roast beef sandwich. So why did Arby's make a version with this King's Hawaiian bun?
It's light, it's airy, it's just the right amount of sweet.
It really bumps up the flavor of the roast beef.
I believe the sandwich gods must be shining on us.
I can see them.
Arby's King's Hawaiian roast beef sandwich is back. Freshly sliced roast beef served on a soft, sweet King's Hawaiian bun. Or try the King's Hawaiian roast beef and Swiss, back for a limited time. Arby's.
What does it feel like to get a great deal at Happy Honda Days? A little like this.
I'm here for you. It's the holidays, the happiest days of the year. Happy holidays, baby.
Catch the spirit. With standard features like Bluetooth and a rear-view camera, it's the perfect season to get a great deal on the 2013 Civic, an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, right now at your Honda dealer.
Put a little play in everyone's holiday. Give Kentucky Lottery scratch-offs.
At Jeep, we're giving you everything you need this holiday with Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, and an all-new Jeep Cherokee. And that means you can give a little something back. Come get some of the best deals of the year at the Jeep Big Finish event. Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $376 a month.
10-10 at halftime, the Bears and the Browns. Don't forget, coming up next on Fox, a showdown in Dallas. Playoff hopes very much alive for Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers again today. And the Cowboys, who were humiliated Monday night in Chicago. Our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues next right here on Fox.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Well, I see how you like it when someone breaks into your house and touches all your stuff.
Hey, Fox tonight. No matter who you are.
I'm a bad boy.
We could all use a break from holiday stress.
I never take breaks, because I'm wearing a diaper.
An all-new night of animation domination is wrecking the halls.
Oh!
And you know what that means.
I don't have to pick up the dog poops.
All new episodes start at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
I bet someone wants a race car for Christmas.
Let's make it happen, big guy. Set me up in a Ford Focus.
But that's a real car.
Is that a problem?
It
has great fuel economy, and it's so much fun to drive. It's got crazy handling.
But the Ford Focus is an awfully big present. Have you been a good boy?
Define good.
What was that?
Now get a Focus with Sync and Sound package with 0 for 60 plus 500 bonus cash. Or lease for only $179 a month.
NFL Network, we make football, and we make it 365 days a year. We make what you wake up to in the morning and rush home to at night.
A huge day in the NFL.
We make it about the ones you'll never forget.
Sometimes you just gotta look to the heavens and say, wow.
And the ones you don't know yet. Together, we make football, and football, and football, and football.
Yeah! This place is going crazy.
NFL Network, together we make football.
Halftime in Cleveland, Browns 10, Bears 10. Second half coming up here on Fox early on, looking for Brandon Marshall. The first of what would be 2 interceptions today for Deshaun Gibson. But Labor able to connect with Marshall to get in the red zone. And the touchdown to Marshall to tie the game in the final seconds of the opening half. Second kickoff around the corner.
This is your game. This is your show. Fox Football Daily, weeknights at 6 on Fox Sports 1.
It's time to ring in the new year right at your Buick dealership. Make your resolution to join the thousands of people every month who are switching to Buick's innovative technology, design, and luxury. Get into the Buick holiday event with exceptional offers and get your year off to a great start. During the Buick holiday event, lease this new 2014 Buick LaCrosse with 2 years of Sirius XM for around $299 per month.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today.
Kentucky Lottery is showing up in places you never expected. Introducing Keno, the exciting new game that draws every 5 minutes with lots of ways to win. Go to kylottery.com and find out how and where to play Keno today.
Did you know most small to medium businesses pay 50% or more in card processing fees than national retail chains? With every swipe, bundled fees are paid out to an unnecessary series of middlemen. Introducing the Merchants Pact by Whimson & Company, offering a low retainer fee and quarterly audits to monitor payment company billings. Savings of up to 50% may be possible. To see how much you can save, speak with Whimson & Company. It's our pact to help you keep the sales you've earned. Every transaction, every time.
Arby's fans don't like when you mess with their classic roast beef sandwich. So why did Arby's make a version with this King's Hawaiian bun?
It's light, it's airy, it's just the right amount of sweet.
It really bumps up the flavor of the roast beef.
I believe the sandwich gods must be shining on us.
I can see them.
Arby's King's Hawaiian roast beef sandwich is back. Freshly sliced roast beef served on a soft, sweet King's Hawaiian bun. Or try the King's Hawaiian roast beef and Swiss, back for a limited time. Arby's.
I'm not the monster that you've been convinced into believing that I am.
60 minutes of play, something to remember.
We make it fun for everyone. We make 60 minutes of play a day our top priority.
Hey, JJ, can I go long?
Go long. That's my move. Hop on the bus at NFLRush.com.
An all-new Family Guy Christmas will fill you with holiday cheer.
Drink the nog.
Whether you like it or not. Tonight at 9/8 Central.
Yeah, you like that nog.
On Fox.
Set to begin the second half. Moments from now in Cleveland, we invite you to follow your favorite team all season long. Just go to iTunes.com/NFL. 10-10 game. We talked about the importance of this game for the Chicago Bears. 7-6, an identical record with Detroit, but due to being swept during the season by the Lions, they're technically a half a game back. Able to get that touchdown near the end of the first half. Big for Chicago.
And that was huge after some missteps early in the game by Jay Cutler to take on that drive, the length of the field, some real nice throws. He's got to pick up where he left off in that rhythm, not turn the ball over down the field. Right now, Cleveland's had some difficulty getting the ball down the field. They're running the ball fairly decently, like everybody does against the Bears, but they're not getting those big plays down the field.
All right, let's put on your coaching cap. You did win a Super Bowl, as I recall, with the Baltimore Ravens. So the halftime adjustments, let's start with Cleveland.
Well, like I said, Cleveland's got to find their playmakers, particularly down the field, to get these big plays from Jason Campbell. And then for Chicago, Cutler's got to find his mechanics. I think that's the reason for these turnovers, and leading to that for Chicago as well. He's got to avoid Deshaun Gibson. 2 interceptions now. I'd find out where he is and maybe go someplace else. I don't know if Gibson's that good, but he's that lucky at least today.
Deshaun Gibson getting his first career touchdown. 44 yards on the return. Thrown by Cutler. Let's check in along the sideline with, I'm sure, a very cold Laura Oakman.
Hi, Tom. I talked to Mark Trestman, who said we saw both sides of Jay Cutler, the rust and the self-confidence. He said, I'm hoping we see the positive in the second half. We saw him make a mistake. We saw him learn from it. And we saw him not be afraid to take a shot and go deep. We're going to keep pushing, be disciplined, take care of the ball. As for the Browns, Coach Szynski said Jay's been great in spurts. They are capable of exploding at any moment, so we have got to get them off the field on third downs. Offensively, he said we have to get Josh Gordon and Jordan Cameron involved, but we have to be on the field. They're killing us time of possession. We have to make sure to take advantage of this opportunity, this first drive, get our rhythm going with our big guys. Tom?
All right, Laura, thank you very much. Hard to believe Josh Gordon nor Cameron Jordan, or Jordan Cameron, I beg your pardon, had a reception in the entire first half, and yet the Browns are in a 10-10 game.
Yeah, and the turnovers make the difference, and they haven't even been targeted that much. I think we're going to see a little bit different approach this second half by Cleveland on this series.
Very short kick. And bobbling the football, and it is out of bounds, and it didn't appear the Bears ever had possession of the ball. The Bears have not recovered a fumble, if you can believe this, in over 600 snaps of football.
And with this wind, all of a sudden the ball just dropped in a way that he wasn't quite ready for. Right there, he comes up underneath it, and then it just kicks down. And now they're very lucky this thing didn't get just kicked in. He tried right there to snap it back into field to play, like keeping a punt out of the end zone. Wasn't enough to keep it in bounds. Huge. Dodged the bullet, did the Cleveland Browns there.
It almost appeared here at halftime as though the winds had shifted a little bit. The flag, which was blowing in the end zone towards that side of the field, to your right looking at the screen. First catch of the game by Jordan. And Josh Gordon is up to the 33-yard line. Some of the numbers, I mean, they clearly favor, in terms of offense, total yards, Chicago, until you get to that turnovers category.
And like Coach Jasinski talked about, that time of possession, it's hard to get drives going. It's hard to stay with the run against this porous run defense of the Chicago Bears when you're 3 and out and don't have the ball a lot.
380. 380.
Both start. Number 12 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You know, Brian, I made mention of the wind. It almost appears as if it's going to be impossible to determine at any given moment in time which way the wind is blowing. The comment made down before the game, Laura Oakman reporting blowing from, as where you're looking, from the left side to the right side. A moment ago was blowing the other way, and now blowing right back into the face of quarterback Jason Campbell. Zachary Bowman, his second interception of the game, and this one will be taken into the end zone, a touchdown.
Turnabout's fair play. This is just a miscue between Jason Campbell and Greg Little. You're going to see at the top, Little turns in as though he was expecting the ball to be a deep in. The ball was thrown to the outside like he thought it was going to be a comeback, and Zach Bowman saw the comeback and took it the distance. That's just a miscue and a bad throw right there. You can see Jason Campbell thinking he thought that Little was going to break to the outside on a comeback. He can't understand why Campbell or Little did not. Obviously a miscue. You zigged when you should have zagged.
6th defensive touchdown of this season for Chicago. Of course, forcing turnovers has been the name of the game for so many years by the Bears defense. That has not been the story this year. They had not forced a turnover in 2 of the last 3 games. Point after is good. And for the first time in the game today, Mark Trestman's Chicago Bears have the lead.
Today is the day that business travel works for you. Today, you'll breeze through security and board early and earn double points on your flight. Today's the day that we make your business our business. Southwest Business Select Fares. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Out here, answers should always outweigh excuses. And there's no excuse why a gas-powered heavy-duty truck can't do everything you ask of it. No excuse at all. The new 6.4-liter Hemi-powered Ram Heavy Duty with best-in-class payload.
We make you easy to find. We make matching permissible. We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make your favorite layer We make it worth being 364 days. We make changing your last name one thing, but your team another. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com. Get a special discount plus free shipping.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Great exhibit going on right now at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in Cleveland, Ohio. It's all about the Rolling Stones and all the guitars through the years used by Keith Richards. Playing the tune of getting a defensive turnover. Those have been few and far between for this Bears defense since really they got out of the month of September. And wrapped up back at the 15-yard line is Whitaker.
Jay Cutler coming off a month of inactivity. Things did not start out well. Starts with this interception with the high throw to Brandon Marshall. Again, a high throw, possibly not following through his mechanics. And then coming back, and now we're seeing Jay Cutler show up for the last 2 minutes of the half, driving the length of the field for a touchdown. They hope that that rust of off has now been dusted, and Jay Cutler will stay in the next drive.
Well, he's sitting in. The Browns got the football to begin and the interception returned for a touchdown. So the Chicago defense right back out. Ratliff wrapping up Edwin Baker on first down. It'll be a gain of 3. Ratliff playing in his 3rd game, 4-time Pro Bowler. So many outstanding years with the Dallas Cowboys. But then had the terrible groin injury last year. And went over a year without playing in an NFL game 3 weeks ago. Play fake to Baker, and then they drop it off to him. And his feet. You mentioned this is the first NFL game for Edwin Baker. Norv Turner out in San Diego drafted him in his 7th round in 2012. 15 weeks on the practice squad, was inactive for the final 2 games of the year. Then in 2013, the first 11 weeks of this year with Denver on their practice squad. Houston picked him up, put him on their practice squad. So now his 3rd team this season for Edwin Baker, and the first time he's playing in an NFL game. Interesting to know that Baker is getting a chance to play today. He was alongside Kirk Cousins at Michigan State. Let's check in downstairs with Laura Oakman.
Tom, we've seen Mel Tucker, defensive coordinator Mel Tucker, down on the field, which we've seen since the Bears. He decided to come down because he said he wanted to be able to look the guys in the eyes and be able to make sure they were getting his message. That last defensive series, he yelled the last thing to the guys, huddled them up before they got in the field, and yelled, "Score or put us in position to score." I think the message was received there.
Was it ever? Mel very excited about being back here in Cleveland, where we mentioned he was born and raised, also coached here for 4 years. Down the middle, it should have been intercepted. Had an eye on Gordon, and that hit Conti right in the chest.
That's a tough one for the safety because you see the ball coming, but you don't know if a big Josh Gordon's going to jump in front of it. Watch Jason Campbell look right down the middle of the field. He sees Josh Gordon at the top of your screen. Got it good and high, and right now Conti doesn't know, am I going to get a pick? Am I going to have to make a tackle? And he did neither.
Well, it didn't look like Gordon. He may have been hearing footsteps right here.
Deion Sanders would call that a business decision.
Well, the question is, what would Rob Chizinski call? 3rd down and 8. And Campbell will run for the first down up to midfield.
The Bears brought a solid rush, but it all collapsed to the outside. If you're going to bring extra people from the outside, you have to stay firm on the inside. Watch in here as it all starts to spread. I see the pressure. I got 5, 6 guys bearing down on me, but all of a sudden the inside integrity, if you're going to bring that kind of outside pressure, James Anderson needed to stay firmer right in front of Jason Campbell.
380!
They clock down to 3-2, now 1. They get it off into the hands of Ogbonnaya. And that'll be a gain of close to 4 on first down. Talking about all the rushing yards the Bears have allowed this season, dead last in the NFL, but today facing a team that does not have a guy that's ever been a primary back in the NFL after the concussion suffered a week ago late in the game by Willis McGahee. Second down and 7. Blitz coming. They get it away. Catch made by Little. Cuts it back to the inside. He's to the 32. And that'll be a first down. And here we are closing in on the 10-minute mark. Josh Gordon without a single reception in this game.
Tom, we have to talk
the one. I beg your pardon. He had the one in this quarter.
Talk about the running game. We've got to talk about the trade of Richardson early in the year in Indianapolis. And that's the reason they put themselves on this course and the rotating backs that they've had.
Former college quarterback out of the Wildcat. And now the third-string tight end carries it down to the 14-yard line. That is the 4th time he has run it this season. College quarterback in Minnesota.
Yeah, the familiar Wildcat, all of a sudden, just as a changeup. Marquise Gray is an excellent athlete. Great hands, big athlete. This guy's 245, 250 pounds. You can use him as a fullback. You can use him as an H-back. It's interesting that they use him in this capacity when they do go to the Wildcat.
That was an 18-yard gain. Look at this formation.
Same thing.
Gray once more out of the Wildcat. And that's a read option. And that's what he used to run for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and he's inside the 5-yard line. That's a way to get the run game cranked up.
Well, the Wildcat, I'm not a huge fan of the Wildcat, but only if you're not getting good play at the quarterback position. But obviously, it makes a difference for him here. It's a change-up look for an offense. This kid, I remember this kid at the University of Minnesota. They really thought he could develop as a quarterback. Never quite happened, but he was an outstanding athlete that they found a niche role for him here in Cleveland.
Now first down and goal. Standard offense here, and the first career touchdown for Edwin Baker. And he is certainly going to keep that football, and this is his first NFL game today. Just signed this week.
Just it's all rugby push right here. Bodies pushing and shoving, putting as many people on the goal line as you can. That's an exciting time for a young man to get his first NFL touchdown, and a nice response by the Cleveland Browns after coming out, starting a drive with a pick 6 and not emotionally folding, going the length of the field for a score.
Billy Cundiff will try and tie the game with a point after. There is an injured Brown on the play. Sean Laval, their starting right guard, shaken up. Of course, they're already starting a backup at left guard, the one-time starter who missed almost all of last year with a blood clot, in Jason Pinkston. He's in for John Greco at left guard this week. Cundiff to try and tie it, which he does. So a bounce back drive indeed. 17 all in Cleveland.
This is smooth and precise on-road handling. This is total confidence and comfort. This is easy to use off-road capability when you need it. This is 70 and counting safety and security features. This is the freedom to keep chasing all the horizons you want. Introducing the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee.
Well-qualified lessees can lease the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee Sport for $259 a month.
For the families we have lost, for the lives of our children, we must take a stand.
Whatever happens, whatever you see, there's no coming back. Come on.
47 Ronin, rated PG-13.
Sprint honors Lizzie and Kim's call on our new network.
Ryan is a total hottie McHotterson.
Harvey, he's amazeballs. He's like the hottest hottie that ever hottied.
He's like a hottie times infinity plus another infinity. And his smile is totes adorbs.
Totes my goats. It's cray adorbs.
Totes my goats.
In honor of the important things you do, save up to $100 on any new phone when you switch to Sprint.
Look out.
Fantastic. The search for a superstar starts here.
I've never been this close to celebrities.
Neither have I.
American Idol premieres Wednesday, January 15th on Fox. It's gripping, fantastic, irresistible, almost human, all new tomorrow on Fox.
Take a look at that bottom note right there. The last time two players, and we're talking about on opposite teams, had 2 interceptions, Bowman has a pair, Tashawn Gibson has a pair. Each player returning one of those interceptions for a touchdown and coming in the same game. You got to go all the way back to December of 1965.
How do you come up with that? How do people come up with that?
I got a lot to do.
Not only you, I meant our great statistician group here. How does that occur to you to come up with that? That's a nice job.
8:20 to go. We're tied at 17.
We don't sit idle, wondering how we're going to build a better truck. We get out there and walk a mile, thousands of miles, in the footsteps of the guys we build trucks for. The groundbreaking Ram Heavy Duty, with 30,000 pounds of towing and 850 pound-feet of torque.
There's a saying around here. You stand behind what you say. Around here, you don't make excuses. You make commitments. And when you can't live up to them, you own up and make it right. Some people think the kind of accountability that thrives on so many streets in this country has gone missing in the places where it's needed most. But I know you'll still find it when you know where to look.
This Friday comes the movie event so real, you'll believe you're there. Are you ready? Remember, they can smell fear. Sorry, that's not fear. Seriously? Walking with Dinosaurs. Rated PG. Friday only in theaters.
We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Walking with Dinosaurs. Friday, only in theaters.
Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio. A 17-17 game. Been a long wait for Jay Cutler, Brian. You pointed out during the commercial break, the last time he's been on the field, it was the final 2 minutes of the opening half. Had the screen set up one way. Cleveland had it read beautifully and dropped a yard behind the line of scrimmage is Cutler by Jabal Shear. Now this holiday season is part of the league's commitment to celebrate and honor alumni players. How about that, alumni? The great Jim Brown. NFL homecoming spotlights a return of legends across the country. To access exclusive content and hear legends in their own words, visit NFL.com/homecoming. Second down, and the catch is made by, once again, Brandon Marshall. It's been Marshall or bust for Jay Cutler today.
And it has, and I certainly understand going after Brandon Marshall the way that they do. I'm just a little surprised. We've seen a little bit of Martellus Bennett, but we've seen virtually nothing to Alshon Jeffrey. You know, Jeffrey's sitting here. He's got 3 receptions for 19 yards, but, you know, in the last 5 or 6 weeks, with McCown, it's been the balance of all these guys. He may have to find Jeffrey a little bit more in balance to Brandon Marshall.
Well, that was something that was talked about, written about a great deal with Cutler returning. He tends to look in Marshall's direction so frequently, and that's a story today. Although Jeffrey here on the 3rd down reception to move the chains up to the 33-yard line.
And that's part of the rhythm we're talking about. Jay Cutler getting back into it. Cleveland, I mentioned a lot in the first half. They are committed to this 4-man rush, and it is not getting home much. Of course, you can't argue with it. There's been two turnovers, So the mentality, look, he'll throw it to us if we give him a chance. So not wanting to commit more pressure, leaving more one-on-one outside with these big receivers, but they're not getting a lot of pressure so far on Jay Cutler with just a 4-man rush.
Forte, his first carry here in the second half, and that'll be a gain of close to 4. Cutler 15 out of 21, 182 yards. The touchdown in the final minute of the opening half, which tied the game at that time. And both of his interceptions have led to 10 Browns points. Forte enough, it appears, for a first down up to the 44-yard line. This guy is such an outstanding player, Matt Forte.
He does it all, obviously, in terms of rushing the ball. He's so three-dimensional. He's 4th in the NFL in yards per game this season. Excellent receiver out of the backfield, particularly with screens and little jump-offs, and really evolved into one of the best blocking backs, not just physically, but mentally being able to go where he needs to protect his quarterback.
6,400 career rushing yards, closing in on 9,400 yards from scrimmage, second only to the great Walter Payton in Chicago Bears franchise history, and that's a gain of close to 8 on first down. Since entering the NFL in 2008, remember, Forte was a 2nd-round pick out of Tulane. Only Adrian Peterson and Chris Johnson have more rushing yards than Forte.
Has a bit of an upright running style. I worried about him when he first came in, that he was going to be able to hold up to the beating, but like the Robert Smith I had in Minnesota, Eddie George on our set there back in LA, they were a little bit upright. Those guys were pretty good too. So
you say those names in these parts and you're thinking Ohio State Buckeyes. Up all the way down to the penalty flag down on the field.
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 17 was going in motion as the line was going down, getting set. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be second down.
Well, that's a good news for Cleveland. The very, very bad news is that's still Joe Hayden down on the sideline.
My name is Jordan Belfort. At the tender age of 22, I headed to Wall Street.
Is that your car on the left?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Rolling Stone calls The Wolf of Wall Street one of the best movies of the year.
I love you, Jordan.
Was all this legal?
You like it?
Yeah! It's a wild, crazy, outrageous ride.
FBI!
What are you gonna do, throw this all away? Leonardo DiCaprio gives the performance of his career.
I know we're a little unorthodox, trying to make a name for ourselves.
The Wolf of Wall Street, rated R.
Oh, come on!
I hate watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
It's not easy to part with her. With all the charmingly mistyped texts we've shared.
She's worth up to $300 in store credit.
Then it's Splitsville for us, baby.
Own the season. Trade in your old smartphone for up to $300 in-store credit. Walmart.
This is the comfort of full-grain Napa leather. This is a fully equipped, crafted interior. This keeps you up to date with everything and everyone. This is 9 gears that give you 31 miles per gallon highway. This is the freedom to keep chasing all the horizons you want. Introducing the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee.
Well-qualified lessees can lease the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee Sport for $259 a month.
Kevin Bacon returns in the groundbreaking series The Following, January 19th on Fox.
Still taking a look at injured Joe Hayden on the Cleveland sideline. Leon McFadden, the rookie out of San Diego State. Of course, he was a guy flagged for the pass interference call in the end zone in New England last week, setting up the controversial game-winning Patriots touchdown. He replaces Hayden on this 2nd down and 8. Pump fake one way, and Cutler hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Paul Kruger, who had 2 sacks in New England last weekend, hitting Cutler.
Yeah, you got to go back to the injury here. Jermon Bushrod, as Joe Hayden goes underneath it, I think he just catches him with his left knee onto the hip or side of Joe Hayden as he goes down. Right there, just a shot. Hopefully that's all it is and nothing more for Joe Hayden.
Third down and 8. Bears are 5 of 8 on 3rd down in the game.
Marshall's been the go-to guy on 3rd down.
Blitz coming. Bears pick it up. One man to beat. Martellus Bennett is down, but the ball is loose. And it's scooped up by T.J. Ward. No penalty flags. That is a touchdown for the Browns. Third turnover of the game for Chicago. And all 3 have led to Cleveland points. A couple of touchdowns and a field goal.
Martellus Bennett just trying to drive for the 1st down. Getting stripped from behind by Billy Wynn. The ball gets knocked out. Certainly short of the 1st down, and all of a sudden the Cleveland Browns, looking to drive by the Chicago Bears, get another score off a turnover. Defense being the key for Cleveland once again.
And that has not been one of the strengths of this Cleveland defense this year, coming in only 16 forced turnovers. And here they have nearly a quarter of that total through almost 3 quarters of football. An interception returned by Gibson, a fumble returned by Ward. Cleveland by 7.
You're saying I can get AT&T's network with a data plan and unlimited talk and text for as low as $45 a month?
$45 a month.
Wow. No annual contract?
No annual contract.
No long-term agreement?
No long-term agreement.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so what's the catch?
There is no catch.
Okay, I'm obviously getting nowhere with you. I'm gonna need to speak with a supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
Oh, finally, someone I can talk to.
It's not complicated. New smartphone plans starting at $45 a month with no annual contract. Only from AT&T.
We're just looking, right?
Of course.
This is the Leo Diamond.
Wow.
It's the first diamond ever independently certified to be visibly brighter.
It's perfect. It even fits.
That's because I already had it sized. Will you marry me?
The visibly brighter Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the master diamond artisans at Leo Schachter. At K, the #1 jewelry store in America.
Yes.
Every kiss begins with K.
Jim, you once stuffed a dryer 3 times past its limit. We admire your stuffing, Jim. You've inspired our new 3-cheese stuffed crust. Could have stopped at 2 cheeses, but we have no self-control. $12 for a large or any unstuffed for 10. Pizza Hut, make it great.
At NFL Network, we make football, and we make it 365 days a year. We make what you wake up to in the morning. and rush home to at night.
A huge day in the NFL.
We make it about the ones you'll never forget.
Sometimes you just gotta look to the heavens and say, wow.
And the ones you don't know yet. Together, we make football, and football, and football, and football.
This place is going crazy.
NFL Network. Together, we make football.
American Idol returns Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
A pair of defensive touchdowns for Cleveland, one for Chicago, and here we are in a 7-point game.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? Now, you knew coming in that this Cleveland Brown team is pretty good defensively. Like you said, not known for turnovers, but very good in terms of not giving up yards and the whole 9 yards. And they've needed it because, frankly, the offense has not done a whole lot.
Not a good sign there for the Browns. Joe Hayden, yes, able to get up and walk. That's a positive. But they're going to send him back into the locker room.
Jay Cutler needs to get warm because he hasn't been a whole bunch in this second half.
Let's check in downstairs with Laura Oakman.
You just saw Joe Hayden walk into the locker room, as you said, Tom. The good news is he was walking in on his own. You can always tell how much a guy means to a team when it's not just the trainers tending to him, but it's Jason Campbell, it's the quarterback, it's Josh Gordon, everyone watching, asking if he's okay. It is officially a hip injury. His return right now is questionable.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. Into the end zone, but Hester going to bring it out across the 10 and up to the 20. On the very first drive of the game, Cutler threw an interception, came back 2 drives later. Gibson intercepting the pass and taking it in for the touchdown. And now a fumble return for a touchdown by T.J. Ward. Ward, I tell you, playing on a Cleveland team that has had, what, 6 consecutive losing seasons, this is a young man who's one of the top safeties in all of football.
Yeah, of course, he was the guy that put the hit on Rob Gronkowski. Everybody was talking about a legal hit, by the way. They really want to keep him here, does this team. Joe Hayden in particular talking about how he very much wants to keep his running mate in the back end with him.
That is Ward's second touchdown this season, and on first down, Forte right at the line of scrimmage, and as if on cue, T.J. Ward coming up to meet him. Let's check in back in L.A. with Kurt Menefee.
If New England wins out, they're the #1 seed in the AFC. But first things first, this is Daniel Thomas of the Dolphins. 2-yard reception. Miami leads at 17-10 in the fourth quarter. Tom and Brian, the Dolphins still have a chance at the playoffs. They're very much in the AFC hunt.
Yes, they are. Certainly that's, you know, the glass half full. New England, yeah, if they win out, they could be #1. By the end of the day today, they could be #3.
Yeah, because the Cincinnati Bengals now are lurking right around there to step into that #2 spot.
And, of course, Cincinnati has already beaten New England this season, and Cutler is sacked. Julian Posey, who's seen very little playing time. But after the injury to Hayden, he's in as an extra defensive back and coming in along with McFadden to drag down Cutler.
Yeah, Leon McFadden came from the top side, as we showed you there. Then Posey bringing these patented corner or nickel blitzes. Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator, with his Pittsburgh Steelers background, the patented nickel or zone blitz. You bring those guys from the outside, it's always a shot.
Bears are going to spend a timeout before this 3rd down and 11.
Well, Greg Kinnear's coming to Fox in a new show called Rake. If Dr. House was a lawyer, it would be this guy. And you know he'll be getting into all kinds of trouble. Don't miss Rake, premiering Thursday, January 23rd, right here on Fox.
Well, he's a talented guy.
He's fun to watch.
Very, very funny guy.
That's all we need is a lawyer with a house mentality. Oh, my gosh.
Take a look at these fellas right down below us.
Wow.
Looking good.
No, they're not. don't encourage them, okay?
Cutler out of the shotgun. It's Earl Bennett in motion on a 3rd down and 11. Cutler steps up, throws, and that's not going anywhere. DeQuell Jackson standing right next to Earl Bennett. And Anthony Bryant, the rookie out of East Central, was in there to put on the pressure against Cutler. So now the Bears are forced to punt it away. Cleveland will spend a 30-second timeout here.
Well, Chicago has got to have that proverbial sense of urgency, Tom, because you've Lions all but at home on a Monday night against Baltimore Ravens, who are in the thick of it now.
Yes, they are.
They got Miami breathing down their throat, obviously, with the win again. And the Green Bay Packers, they're at half game back. Now they're on the road. They're playing the Dallas Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers couldn't get back this week. I'd be surprised if he's not back next week if they could pull off that road win against the Dallas Cowboys, this NFC North. And it looks like only the winner of the North is going to find their way into the playoffs.
Well, they've brought back not only Jordan Poyer, but also Devon Betts on this punt. And a fair catch made by Poyer. Nick and the Stones have been the highlight attraction at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'll tell you what, those guys down below us,
Super Bowl 48 is coming, and Bud Light is throwing you quite a show.
We'll run the spread, I'll throw the ball, we'll bring our blitz, I'll change the call, and we will be the team to win it all.
Not that kind of show. This kind of show. Use your FanZone app for your chance to unlock the ultimate VIP weekend. We're turning a luxury cruise liner into the Bud Light Hotel in New York City, where you'll party with celebrities, top music artists, and see Super Bowl 48. Download the FanZone app today. Bud Light, here we go.
Mine was earned orbiting the moon in 1971.
Afghanistan in 2009.
On the USS Saratoga in 1982.
Once it's earned, USAA Auto Insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve current and former military members and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
'Twas the bazillionth winter for the Johnsons TV, and fed up Dad said, time for a new one if you ask me. But which one to buy? There were so many choices. Enter the Blue Shirts with their calm, expert voices. With low price guarantee, there was money to spare. So Mom bought a camera right then and there. Nothing will ever replace good literature.
Save on great gifts like the LG 55-inch LED TV at your Ultimate Holiday Showroom. Best Buy.
Well, oftentimes you take a look at the fourth quarter and drives and what might or might not be. But Brian, Cleveland already with a 7 lead and the football still in this third quarter. This becomes, it feels like a very important drive defensively for Chicago.
Not only just to stop them, but maybe even a turnover. They need to generate a turnover just to get better field position for their offense. Jason Campbell has not been real effective down the field, nor have they run the ball particularly well. All these points seem to be coming off the defensive side, although the last series they were able to move it down and get into the score with the little bit use of the Wildcat.
Marquise Britt, former quarterback at Minnesota.
False start, number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's a 6-time Pro Bowl left tackle Joe Thomas.
This is the part of the game against the porous run defense of the Bears that the Browns would love to just pound away and start to eat down some clock.
380. 380.
Play fake, and they drop it off to Whitaker, and he is dragged down. Maybe a pickup of a yard, and that's maybe.
Well, they've gone to the screens all day long. Went to the well once too often there. It's been very effective for them, but a little predictable. after a penalty and a long distance, trying to set up a more workable down and distance.
Well, and I would imagine some of the Browns fans are saying, hey, look, we ran that Wildcat. This is a former college quarterback. This is clearly something we worked on. Why not come back to that to begin this series?
They might as we get inside the red zone. Seems to be that's where they haven't dialed it up.
Campbell finding Baker out of the backfield, and look at the strong running by Edwin Baker, and that's enough for a first down. Well, this is a young man making a name for himself, and this is his first NFL game.
Well, as you said, there's a familiarity there with North Turner, the offensive coordinator. Had him in San Diego, was familiar with him, saw the potential for the young man, and has gotten his opportunity here with the trading away of Trent Richardson and the injury to Willis McGahee.
Back in the hands of Baker. Ryan, you and I were talking a lot last week about the outstanding head coach at Michigan State University, Mark D'Antonio. What a job he's done there. Of course, they got the big upset of Ohio State in the Big Ten on Fox here again. You're the starting tailback for Mark D'Antonio. You got to be a pretty good football player.
Yeah, you can be pretty tough.
Down the sideline looking for Josh Gordon, and it's incomplete, and the flag comes in.
Well, that was a late flag from the middle of the field. And they're discussing possibly, is this an uncatchable ball? And this is the way it should go. Discussing it. What did you see? What did I see? Where was the position of the ball?
There is no foul for defensive pass interference, as the ball is uncatchable. It'll be third down.
So there you have it.
You can just see on the outside, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving here. Josh Gordon on the outside, lined up against Isaiah Fry. Gets that left arm bar up a little bit, reaches back. Even that, I don't know if it was worth the call, but clearly couldn't even see the ball in the picture.
Well, the covering official made that call immediately. So a job well done. 3rd and 6. Campbell delivers to Josh Gordon, and that is a first down. Only the second catch of this entire game for Gordon. And that's the way the third quarter comes to an end. Perhaps the Bears' playoff chances hanging in the balance on a freezing day in Cleveland, down by 7.
Number 13, Oklahoma State is ready for a shootout with number 8, Missouri. Touchdown! The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic, January 3rd on Fox.
Show your excellent taste in gifts with Penn Station gift certificates. Buy $30 worth and get a complimentary 6-inch subcard good for your next visit. Happier holidays from Penn Station.
The Chrysler Big Finish event is here. And with it comes the inevitable hustle and bustle of the season. But when you stop to reflect on what you have and everything it took to get it, you realize that the greatest gift is what you give back. Come get some of the best deals of the year at the Chrysler Big Finish event. Well-qualified lessees can take advantage of this low-mileage lease offer or $3,500 total cash allowance.
Put a little play in everyone's holiday. Give Kentucky Lottery scratch-offs.
13 years, man. 13 years. This has not been easy, man. It's not. I'm not the monster that you've been convinced into believing that I am.
Local news designed to fit your schedule.
At 2 different times convenient for you. The local evening news at 6:30.
And WDRB News at 7 on WBKI, Louisville's CW. News designed for your busy life.
Getting close to Santa Claus time. Christmas nearly upon us. A 7-point lead. What a Christmas present that would be for the Browns in this their final home game to get a victory.
Well, in a tough, hard-fought loss against New England last week, they can feel good about maybe the direction that this organization is going. It's been a tough haul for them over the last 15 years since they've been reconstituted here in Cleveland.
Make it one way, come back the other way. And a catch is made by the tight end, Jordan Cameron, who's also been very quiet here today.
You know, they've made a lot of dramatic changes here in Cleveland. You can see with the trade of Trent Richardson, they got 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds. Depending upon where their fourth round pick, they could have a lot of picks in that first 100 players to build on going forward with a good core offensive line. We've seen what they do defensively. They got Josh Gordon. They've got a good tight end. Need to address the quarterback situation. Things could look good here for Cleveland.
We saw Zachary Bowman, who has 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, limp off the field. And now they put it in the hands of Ogbonnaya. Penalty flag down. He had enough to pick up a first down, but will it stand?
Number 66 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Sean Laval, the right guard. Of course, Bowman is already filling in for the Pro Bowl corner Charles Tillman. Now, really, it's a first-year player, and Isaiah Fry, who's done a solid job in his first year as their nickelback. But now he is filling the slot of Bowman, another step down the depth chart.
And again, just another on that list of defenders for the Chicago Bears. The defensive coordinator, Mel Tucker, is having to account for.
Ready. Relax.
Gordon went into his cut and fell down at the 30. 3rd and long coming up for the Browns.
And the learning curve for a big receiver, that's been the thing for Josh Gordon. For a big man breaking down into cuts, in and out of routes, that's the biggest improvement you need to make. Brandon Marshall talked about it in his progression. Michael Irvin, who came in here and talked, given his relationship with North Turner, talked to them about that's the challenge for big men, and it is a big man receiving league now. You've got to learn to break down and use that body position on your routes.
At the very minimum, Cleveland trying to get close enough for a field goal try. And that went off target to the intended receiver, Greg Little.
I don't know if it was much off target as Greg Little kind of turned that down going on in the inside. Once you start on the inside route, you need to continue. Jason Campbell seeing where the open slot is, and Greg Little just kind of hesitated and then tried to keep up and reach out for it rather than continue on across.
Hester standing back at his own 10. Spencer Lanning on to punt it. What a job. That was touched by Brown, it looked like, which would have automatically downed the football. And then McManus picked it up. But it had already been touched.
The amazing new iPad Air is here. And for the first time, it's at T-Mobile. So we're introducing something amazing of our own. While you use it on our network, every new iPad Air from T-Mobile comes with free 4G LTE data for life. Which means you can take your iPad Air even further than ever before. iPad Air, free data for life. Only from T-Mobile.
This isn't it's ice skating music. But when it comes on, whammo, big play. Our lucky song.
Who keeps playing this song?
I don't know.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
And now my journey across the country's brought me to the lovely city of Boston. Cheers.
And seeing as it's such a historic city, I'm sure they'll appreciate that Geico's been saving people money for over 75 years. Oh dear. I've dropped my tea into the Boston Harbor. I guess this party's over.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
They want the official rematch. They're gonna pay each of you $100 grand.
Who do you think is in better shape?
That's round he is.
I'm making it, baby!
Grudge Match, rated PG-13, Christmas Day.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by T-Mobile. Unleash.
We are in the fourth quarter in Cleveland. Jay Cutler and the Bears down by 7. Cutler's first game back since early November when he injured his left ankle against the Detroit Lions. From his end zone, hit as he throws. And a flag will come in. It looked like McFadden never turned around. He had great coverage on Alshon Jeffrey.
And that you can see at the top, and that's what it is. He did not play the ball at all, and you're going to get caught. Little stutter move on the outside, playing the receiver all the way. The bump and run, you'll get away with it. And Cutler, Jabal Sheard on the backside. Cutler was slow to get up. Not a real big hit, but all of a sudden he just kind of gets up with a little bit of a hitch in his get along.
First down.
Boy, the Eagles and the Seahawks have been flagged for more pass interference penalties this year than these Cleveland Browns. That's a 30-yard gain on the penalty. Cutler appears to be, when he got up, and even now limping around a little bit. Josh McCown starting to crank it up over on the Bears sideline. Cutler steps up, throwing down to Marshall. Flag on the play.
Call this on screen, or are they going to call this on Brandon Marshall?
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 22 in the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's 40 yards gained on 2 passing plays without a completed pass.
Right here on the outside, he gets a free release. You can see screen on the top. And just as he goes by, that contact right there, he clearly grabs him, alters his action. It wasn't the late contact. That's what the fans are booing about. It was the earlier contact where he definitely pulled on Brandon Marshall.
So it is a 5-yard penalty. So they have picked up 35 yards with this drive starting from their own 5-yard line on back-to-back penalties against the Cleveland defense. Trying to lay it off to Forte. Let's check in back in Los Angeles.
Well, once down 27-9, the Eagles have struck with 2 touchdowns in less than 3 minutes. That completion from Foles to Zach Ertz made it closer. They missed the 2-point conversion, but still a 27-22 Viking lead as they start the fourth quarter. Tom and Brian.
Well, it's so interesting. You have so many games of importance around the NFL. It's interesting that the AFC North is playing against the NFC North. And in both of those divisions, you have such a scramble for teams trying to stay in the hunt. Martellus Bennett short of a first down. Not by much. 3rd down and 2 upcoming for the Bears. Jackson on the tackle once more.
And that's the kind of throws Mark Trestman wants to see more of Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's got great ability down the field. He tends to want to wait out just a little bit for those big plays down the field. That's fine. But to get through your progressions a little quicker, drop the ball off, now leave yourself in a much more convertible 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2.
It's a long one. 3rd down and just short of 2. And the Bears spent a timeout. Chicago has 1 remaining.
You make a great team. It's been that way since the day you met. But your erectile dysfunction, it could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
I'm gonna live.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna live, 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 live until I die.
Rated M for mature.
Get new game content first on Xbox.
Seven-point Cleveland lead. Bears with a football. 3rd down and 1. They give it to Forte, and he has a first down to the Cleveland 44-yard line. Turnovers and points off turnovers, a story today. Gibson returning an interception for a touchdown. Zachary Bowman doing the same thing for Chicago. Wynn forcing the fumble. T.J. Ward recovering the fumble, racing to the end zone for a touchdown, and that last scored the difference in this one with 12 minutes to go. Cutler looking down the field for Brandon Marshall, and it's broken up. Gibson back there along with Buster Screen.
Just taking the deep vertical down the middle. He's going to down here at the bottom. Jay Cutler trying to move the safeties just a little bit. He had Alshon Jeffrey coming underneath. The guys, I know he's a big man, and you got people in front and in back. Typically, he can come up with that. But I agree with Jay Cutler kind of looking at Brandon Marshall a great deal. He seems to be too focused on Brandon Marshall for my money.
Nice play. Made by Phil Taylor, wrapping up Forte before he could get it cranked up. So another 3rd down. But this time it's not 3rd and 1. This time it's 3rd and 11.
And they've been solid on 3rd down. They're 7 of 11. And they've converted with a couple wide open shots to Martellus Bennett and an Alshon Jeffrey when they drop coverage. In this instance, Cleveland has brought a little pressure. Brought some guys from the outside. We'll have to see if they want to be more passive here.
Butler very good 3rd down numbers here today. Butler 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. 3rd down. Fakes it to Forte. Steps up. Lofts it to Jeffrey in the corner of the end zone. And the defender missed it, and Jeffrey caught it for a touchdown. A penalty flag is behind the line of scrimmage. A mistimed jump in the secondary on really just a...
Roughing the passer, number 97 of the defense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff and is a touchdown.
How in the world did this happen? Of course, there are a lot of defenses starting to wonder how Jeffrey seems to make all these plays.
Well, this could be the one we see on Fox 1, and it seems to be all around Alshon Jeffrey. We saw the deep jumping touchdown against Minnesota, the great corner touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, and getting back into body position. This is just thrown up on a wing and a prayer by Jay Cutler. and he comes down with the ball. Alshon Jeffrey, I've been saying he needed to find Alshon Jeffrey. He found him.
Boy, this kid is stepping up when the Bears need him most. Boy, his second year out of the University of South Carolina. To tie it, Robbie Gould. Boy, it looked like the Cleveland defense was in great position, but Jeffrey with the football and the touchdown.
Yeah, nice catch.
That's put a little heat on it.
All right, I'll pull a little something on it.
Want to win your own football fantasy? Just tell us. Then use your Visa card for a chance to win it.
Man, super busy today.
It's Mondays. I got a million emails.
Oh, that's awesome. I found my stapler. Yes.
It's Gold Monday at Walmart.com. Find Gold Star gifts at incredible prices, still in stock and ship free with Christmas delivery guaranteed. Walmart.
It's back. Applebee's Spirited Cuisine. Crafted with a touch of tequila, wine, and whiskey by our highly skilled show-offs. I mean, chefs. Are you really going to do this every time? New Marsala mushroom sirloin and chicken and shrimp tequila tango, starting at $9.99. 2 new reasons to see you tomorrow.
We make you easy to find. We make matching permissible. We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make your favorite layer. We make it worth being good for 364 days. We make changing your last name one thing, but your team another. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com. Get a special discount plus free shipping.
A white Simpsons Christmas can only mean one thing.
I don't have to pick up the dog poop.
The Simpsons, only tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Walking with Dinosaurs. Friday, only in theaters.
Third consecutive game with a touchdown reception. He's become a highlight film seemingly every week. Brian, we saw him 2 weeks ago when Jeffrey set the all-time Bears single-game receiving yards record. 249 of them against Minnesota, including a couple of spectacular touchdown receptions. After the penalty, Whitaker brings it out to the 13-yard line.
He's becoming a personal highlight film for The One on Fox Sports 1. Great job leaping off a dead sprint, keeping the ball high against Minnesota for a touchdown. We all saw this on Monday night. Beautiful job keeping the ball again high. Great hands, working the feet to the corner of the end zone. This one just using his body position between 2 defenders to come down with a touchdown. And of course, here's the late hit on Cutler. I'm not quite sure why that brought about a penalty unless he maybe got a hit to the head.
Under 11 minutes to go here in Cleveland. Certainly 2 franchises, historically speaking, in the history of this great game. Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. On a frigid early afternoon in Cleveland, Ohio. And they cannot get the play off.
Delay of game, offense, number 17. The 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And you heard Jason Campbell, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, let's get it off. And when you're in the gun, there's a lot of different ways to institute it. The offensive lineman, or in this instance, the center, Mack, having to make the calls as to where he wanted the line to go. Couldn't get it off in time. Disappointing when you're at home.
First and 10 becomes first and 15. And Ogbonnaya not going anywhere. Jeremiah Ratliff there to meet him. Friday, January the 3rd. One of college football's great events. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. 13th ranked Oklahoma State. 8th ranked Missouri. 7:30 Eastern only on Fox. They have Marquise Gray. We saw him out of the Wildcat. A couple of big runs. A touchdown drive in the 3rd quarter, but now in his regular tight end position. Crossing pattern, and that is Little still on his feet. Out to the 10. It'll bring up 3rd down 14.
Well, Josh Gordon, like we said, has been conspicuously unaccounted for so far. This would be
Jordan Cameron.
Good place for him. Jordan Cameron, exactly. These are the two big receivers they've got. This is, if they're going to show up, this would be the place to do it.
Gordon has 2 catches, 24 yards. Cameron 1 reception for 6 yards.
Gordon's down here at the bottom of the screen.
Good protection. And that is Gordon. Did he catch the football? Bears are saying no. Browns are trying to hurry, and now no. Incomplete.
Yeah, Jeff Triplett had the good view of it. It clearly bounced in. Jason Campbell sees he's got the deep in cut. And the ball, only 1 bounce, though. This is a dangerous situation for Cleveland now, kicking out of the shadow of their own goal post, and Devin Hester inside the 50 waiting for the ball.
Good punt. Back at the 45, it is Hester. Breaking it to the right. Hester still on his feet and is run out of bounds by the punter Lanning. But with 9:09 left to go in a 24-24 game, Chicago with excellent field position, starting this drive at the Cleveland 36-yard line. 21-yard return for Devin Hester.
And this is where you're counting on the veteran experience of Jay Cutler. We saw this at the end of the half when he took him the length of the field to get a score. Here, it's all about, with a 24-24 tie, 9 minutes, it's all about that veteran perspective. Yeah, I want the touchdown. The field goal could win it for us. I just can't turn the ball over.
Pretty steady dose of Matt Forte, you would imagine here. That'll be a gain of a yard. You know, we brought up earlier. We'll get back to that. First, let's check in with Joel Klatt back in Los Angeles.
Go down to Miami, where Tom Brady and the Patriots feeling the heat. Ryan Tannehill late in the ball game to Marcus Thigpen. 14 yards for the touchdown. Dolphins inside of a minute up 24-20. New England looking for an AFC East crown. Guys?
Of course, New England looking for another miracle. They have had more than their fair share of them this season, including last week against these Cleveland Browns, scoring 2 touchdowns in the final minute, 1 second of the game. Second down for Cutler, and that's Martellus Bennett, the tight end. Tries to turn the corner. Wrapped up and dragged out of bounds, very close to a first down, depending on the spot. It looks like they will give him a good spot, and it's enough for a first down to the 30. In the last 2 weeks, it was Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. It was allowing 14 points in the final 61 seconds to lose against New England last week.
And Coach Jasinski knows that's great to know that we're that close and we're building, but at some point you got to close these out. And that's the next step for his organization.
Pitch it to Forte. Inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line is Matt Forte.
Now that was a fun play. Well designed. You're going to see Alshon Jeffrey come into motion here, fake the reverse, the speed sweep they call it, and then the quick pitch out to Matt Forte.
Talked about the blocking earlier. Jeffrey and Marshall, good blocking there by the third receiver, Earl Bennett, on a 19-yard game. And there's an injured Brown down on one knee, and that's to Sean Gibson. You know, I know many of you at home are wondering about the win, and it's something we talked about earlier. We heard from Laura Oakman about it. And it must be almost impossible, Brian, from any angle at this point. If you look to the flags in the end zone they're going, it would be blowing in their face. You look at the flags on the top of the uprights, they're not doing anything.
You can see that
they're
wind
playing
turbine.
Kicks like it's blowing the other way.
There's so much wind here, they're powering the stadium with that wind turbine. I said it earlier, I've been here many, many times. I can deal with wind. Wind in my face, wind in my
That's a
back,
flag blowing in
wind
from
to the
their
side.
face.
But it, like you say, it changes almost minute by minute. So when your field goal kicker comes to you, I used to with Matt Stover, and say, okay, I'm good from here. Well, Matt had to almost give me a minute by minute. Well, I'm good from here. Well, I'm not here. Not now. Well, now I am. Well, now, you know, as a quarterback, because it just, even your play calling. Can I trust the wind? Can I not trust it? Am I going in? Am I going out?
So now the Browns are without Joe Hayden. They're without Deshaun Gibson in their secondary. And on first down, it is Forte. He's to the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. How about it, Laura Oakman?
Tom, they're evaluating Gibson right now. Looks like something with, he's waving off the trainer saying he's fine, but they have ruled out Joe Hayden. He will not return with that hip injury.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. They're still taking a look at Gibson over on the Cleveland bench. Ball at the 2-yard line, second down and goal for the Bears. 6.5 to go in Cleveland. Dropped behind the line of scrimmage, and once more it is T.J. Ward. Oh, what a game and what a season it has been for T.J. Ward.
All the way up into here, they've been dialing up these pressures. All of the Pittsburgh Steeler background that defensive coordinator Ray Horton has. So far, they're ahead of the curve in terms of what they've been able to do. And now here's the tough one. 3 points is going to give you the lead, but you got Jay Cutler. You got a great receiving combination. What do I do? Run the ball or throw it?
Third down and goal from just inside the 5. Cutler to Earl Bennett, and that is a touchdown. Everybody in the world watching Marshall and Jeffrey along with Martellus Bennett. But it is Earl Bennett who, for the second straight week, catches a 4-yard touchdown. That's a new career high for him, 4 on the year. And a touchdown lead for the Bears.
And that's exactly what they did. They put Brandon Marshall over the top on a quick corner, brought Bennett back underneath, figuring the coverage would drop off, finding that little void in the zone for the touchdown.
Gold, it is good. Bears lead by 7.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? Hey, we don't have a reservation. Right this way.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There.
Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin.
We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Today is the day.
This is me having the best day of my life. Ready? I'm just feeling it.
There's a lot of talented people in this world, and they all come to American Idol.
1, 2, 3. Yeah!
For Sergeant Pete Hill.
It's pretty cool we're here together. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
His toughest battle.
Stuck in rear D. It's for the guys who can't cut it.
Will be with his 2 brothers.
We're gonna do what we gotta do, and we're gonna do it with a smile.
You were so full of wisdom, confidence, and passion for excellence. Crap.
Enlisted. Premieres Friday, January 10th on Fox.
Back-to-back touchdown drives for Jay Cutler and the Chicago Bears. They basically had the Hail Mary that Jeffrey went up and made the play on. And then after the good punt return, set up by a good defensive stop, Cutler delivers his second touchdown throw of this second half. Whitaker will take a knee. This holiday season, part of the league's commitment to celebrate and honor alumni players, NFL Homecoming spotlights a return of legends to stadium across the country. And how about this guy? The great Jim Brown.
I love the conversation. Someone said, well, in today's game, how much do you think Jim Brown would run for? The guy said, I don't think he'd get 50, 60 yards. He goes, you don't think Jim Brown gets 60, 70 yards in today's game? He goes, wait a minute, Jim Brown's 74 years old. That's pretty good.
I'm not so sure he still could.
You're right. He may be underestimated.
Of course, our legendary producer, Bob Stenner, used to spend time regularly on a nightly basis with Jim Brown for many, many years. Our good buddy Fred Dwyer. First down. Reception made by Ogbonnaya. That's up for maybe a 2-yard pickup. Closing in on 5.5 to go. A must-win game for the Bears. Could you say, yeah, they could lose and still get in? Of course you could make that statement.
Oh boy, but
it would be true. But
particularly since, as we said, you're going to have to win the NFC North to get in, because I don't think the wild card's going to come out of this division.
You have an 8-5 Arizona team on the outside looking in right now for the wild card. Once more it is Whitaker, and that is good enough for Ogbonnaya, I beg your pardon. The first down up to the 33-yard line, and this is going into play today. Division leaders, Seattle, New Orleans, Detroit, Philadelphia. Detroit very much in the balance, as is Philadelphia. Carolina and San Francisco have better records than those division leaders. Down the middle of the field. And Gordon went sliding into that one. Have to take a look at what may have not happened there. Gordon has not been all that excited about going into traffic during the course of this game here today.
And he's just at the top of the screen right into here. We've seen a couple of these deep in routes. Anticipating. We'll certainly understand it.
Pass there, nearly intercepted by Fry. Let's go downstairs to Laura Oakland.
Tom, you guys have been talking all game, obviously, about the lack of action Josh Gordon has seen. He saw a little too much last night. On the way to the team meeting, he was a passenger in his SUV, got into a minor car accident. Car in front of him swerved, trying to avoid the icy conditions, and his car hit that car. He was brought to the team meeting, evaluated. Doctors cleared him for this game, but he was involved in a minor accident last night.
Oh, Lord, thank you for that. Update, 3rd down and 10. Campbell in trouble. Throws it high, and it's batted down by Tim Jennings. And the Browns will punt with 4:23 left.
Well, he's had some opportunities here. These deep in routes. This is where Josh Gordon makes his money, whether it's not on the money or they've not come back to him. He's made a couple of plays, but he's had not as many opportunities as he would like, and there seems to be a level of frustration between he and Josh Campbell as to whether the ball, where it's going to be thrown or where it's intended.
4:23 left. Punted away by Lanning. Letting it bounce is Devin Hester, and will continue to roll down to the 22-yard line. 4:12 remaining. Chicago 1 timeout. More importantly at this juncture, Cleveland with 2 timeouts. The decision made by Mark Trestman. The 2 biggest decisions made in the NFL this week. We know about RG3 and Mike Shanahan and that story in Washington, D.C. That's a team not going anywhere. I thought this one was a much more important decision because of where the Bears are in relation to the postseason.
Well, keep in mind that none of the quarterbacks on the field today for either team could be back next year. We've got a whole bunch of free agents. Well talked about Jay Cutler, Josh McCown. Do you go with Josh McCown when he comes back? Not going to cost you as much. Jay Cutler, if he comes back, he's going to have to be in those mega contract level, that $100 million level if he's going to come back to the Bears.
Forte breaks it into the open field and is spun down at the 35-yard line on first down.
So that's the decision, and that's going to factor. That has factored in a little bit for the Chicago Bears. You know that Phil Emery and Mark Trestman have had those conversations about what they want to do with Jay Cutler. I think it's an indicator that indeed they stayed with him, have no questions about staying with him, that they intend to bring him back. They don't want to use the franchise tag. Doesn't mean they won't, but that's an expensive ticket, $16-17 million, and they've got some things to address, particularly on the defensive side.
Bears with a 7-point lead in the football, just under 3:30 to play in Cleveland. On first down, it's Forte, and he is dragged down behind the line. Play made by Gibson. Forte over 100 yards rushing for the third consecutive game. 19 carried for 100 yards. Now a timeout spent by the Browns. Cleveland has one timeout remaining. The return of Jay Cutler. He turned it over on the first drive, an interception in the end zone, and led to a Cleveland field goal. Later in the opening quarter, threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. A fumble return. And Cutler on the day, 21 of 30, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. They were down by 7, and Cutler took them on back-to-back touchdown drives.
Yeah, and that's been the difference in the game. Neither offense has really generated much. It's been off the defensive turnovers, other than the 2 drives that you're alluding to with Jay Cutler at the end of the half, and then obviously with the big throw to Alshon Jeffrey to set up the score.
Bears trying to go to 2 games above the 500 mark. Put it in the hands of Earl Bennett. And he slowed down, picking up a couple of yards. We talked about Cutler on the very first drive. Took him down the field. The tip ball was intercepted in the end zone. Then later, it would be Gibson who returned an interception for a touchdown. But that drive, the final minute of the opening half to tie the game. And the Hail Mary ball that was caught by Jeffrey to tie it. Then the touchdown throw you saw there to Earl Bennett to take the lead. The Browns have just spent their final timeout. Stopping the clock with 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, Jay Cutler on a 3rd down. This is again where you go, it's great coaching. It's look, we need to get a 3rd down. You need to fire in there, be aggressive, go get it. Oh, by the way, don't turn the ball over. At which point the quarterback goes, well, thanks, coach. It never occurred to me you didn't want to throw it in. But if they can get a 1st down here, go into a solid 4-minute mode and draw down the rest of the clock and get the win.
Well, they're going to run the football on 3rd down. Caught the Browns by surprise and look at Forte. All the way down to the Cleveland 40-yard line.
That's the exact same play they ran down in the red zone. We saw, you can see Alshon Jeffrey going into motion. They're faking this little jet sweep. Coming on the outside, and the quick on the outside to Forte. Jamad Bushrod down the field, Slauson down the field, looking for someone to block. Nice play on a 3rd and 10. Nice safe play. Don't have to throw the ball down.
4-yard gain. So now the Bears can run a play. Remember, Cleveland cannot stop the clock. Bears will run a play. The 2-minute warning will stop it after a 1st down. And this is Michael Bush. And Bush is into the end zone. And that is a touchdown for the Bears, which will keep their playoff hopes alive. A 2-touchdown lead with a little more than 2 minutes to go.
Well, the Cleveland Browns knew it was going to be a run. They brought everybody down in. but they didn't keep the gap integrity we talked about. Nice cutback by Michael Bush to go the distance for the touchdown and seal this for the Bears.
Bears getting touchdowns on 3 consecutive drives after they had fallen behind by 7. Point after is good by Robbie Gould. They get the Jeffrey touchdown, the Bennett touchdown, and now Bush.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh. The what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big Sales event.
38-24, Chicago with 2:17 remaining. You never ever say a team is finished. Look no further than the Browns last week. They had a 2-touchdown lead with a minute left in the game and lost.
But with all due respect, that was Tom Brady pulling the trigger for that New England offense, and this Cleveland offense is yet to show any of that kind of consistency. But we may see a bit of Josh Gordon now as they try to get the ball down the field to finish the game.
Bush got the touchdown, but Matt Forte, we've talked a lot about him today. 1,622 yards from scrimmage now this season after 127 rushing yards. 1 reception as well here today, and that is a new career high for Matt Forte in his 6th season. Well, not many thought the Browns had much of a chance to reach the playoffs going into play today with 4 wins. They are officially eliminated from the playoffs. And don't look now, Brian. Talked about starting with New England. Everybody's talking about number 1 seed, number 1 seed, number 1 seed. Cincinnati wins tonight. They are the number 2 seed. In fact, right now, Cincinnati is a 2 seed by virtue of a win over New England. And meanwhile, Miami has quietly won 5 of his last 7 games. His best makes a catch up to the 30-yard line.
Well, and even more importantly, with Denver losing to San Diego, people think, well, New England, maybe New England its way. Have to scramble to hold on to 2.
Today's game is sponsored by the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and Galaxy Gear.
Welcome to Santa's Big Christmas Secret 2013. You guys ready for the next big thing? I said, are you ready for the next big thing? Call me crazy. Can a watch make a phone call? Does a watch let you know when you've walked away from your phone? Can a watch take a picture? All right, let's get a picture of you two, front row. All right, and this dude, Badal. What's that? I'm getting a call from Mrs. Claus. Hey, sweetie.
What are you doing?
Nothing, just talking about a million beautiful elves. Now I ask you, can a watch do all that?
It's not a watch.
What'd you just say?
It's not a watch.
Say it again.
It's not a watch.
It's a miracle.
The Galaxy Gear, now also available for the Galaxy S4, S3, and Note 2.
Wow. That feels wow.
Oral-B Deep Sweep, featuring 3 cleaning zones that remove up to 100% more plaque than a regular manual brush. Guaranteed wow from Oral-B, #1 dentist recommended toothbrush brand worldwide.
Rated E for everyone. Forte Motorsport 5, only on Xbox One.
You modify the used hearts, put them in people. When they can't pay you, they die. Go, 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 go!
What have you done? I need that heart to live.
Almost Human, all new tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Well, you wondered about how do they feel about Jay Cutler coming back, and there's Brandon Marshall going, yeah, I got my man back. I'm feeling good about it. They got a little bit of smile by Jay Cutler. You don't see a lot of that. Obviously, how this locker room holds together through the change at the quarterback position is pivotal. Brandon Marshall's been his #1 advocate all along. Got a great relationship. This is a big win for the Bears.
(38-24), 2-minute warning. Cleveland out of timeouts. Well, rather than the passing game, it's really been an unbelievably productive run game in the fourth quarter that has been a story in the Bears, coming with 21 unanswered points. They have rushed for over 100 yards in this fourth quarter alone. Now you're going to call everybody's name. Just to prevent defense for the Bears, not allow the big play if they want to complete an 8-yard pass, as they do right there to Cameron, and so be it.
Yeah, they're going to give them all this they want to take, as long as it buys down the clock. But you're right about the running game for the Chicago Bears, and that's what Mark Trestman, he's totally committed to the balance. Yeah, they're going to run the West Coast quasi offense. They're going to get the ball down the field. They got the monsters in the midway on the outside, but he wants to have that kind of balance.
Hold on a minute. It is a touchdown to Josh Gordon. First time they've been able to come up with the big connection between Jason Campbell and Josh Gordon.
Just up on the outside. This is as simple as a screwdriver, straight down the field. They just went inside to Cameron, safety over the top, blinks a little bit. Conti can't get there. Touchdown to Josh Gordon.
43 yards. That's a 5th consecutive game with a touchdown for Gordon. That's the first time a Brown has done that since a fella in 1976 named Paul Warfield. Not a bad name in Ohio football history. Well, we saw the Patriots pull it off last week with the onside kick, scoring 2 touchdowns in the last 61 seconds. Will today be the Browns' turn?
And to be critical of the Bears defense, I mean, if they were going to get back into this situation, it was going to be a big play down the field to Josh Gordon. Like we said, you can take all the Jordan Cameron you want in the middle to ease your way down and buy down the clock. Just don't let him have the big hit down the field to the outside. Got to believe that Chris Conti got pulled out of position a little bit. Corner thought he had help over the top that wasn't there when he called on him.
Game being produced today by Bob Stinner, directed by Greg Scopatoni. Our technical producer is Bob Muller. Replay producer Mark Titleman. Associate director Yvonne Wagner. Our broadcast associate Jordan Wolf. I'd like to thank our spotter, Scott Studley Snyder, the pride of Upper Arlington, Ohio, and our stats crew headed up by Tom Barbary in the booth, Taylor Jones as well, Eric Norton and Mike Geldridge down in the truck, and our entire Fox crew. Thanks to all, especially those exposed to the elements on this freezing Sunday afternoon in Cleveland. So now a big chance for the onside kick. Look at this, fake it with one guy, go to another guy, and able to pick it up is Brandon Marshall, and that's about the surest pair of hands in the bunch. A penalty flag is down.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. They did not have 4 men on each side of the ball when the ball was kicked. The 5-yard penalty was added to the end of the play. First down.
Yeah, and here's what you've got to have when you have it. You've got to have at least 4 men on either side of the ball. My number counter isn't going to give it to you. But because of the way they bunched up in here, it left them there illegal because of the number count. You'll remember the new rules. They don't want you to be able to overload one side. It leads to injuries. There's got to be a balance to it. He's trying to explain right here how he had it, but it's not going to happen because of the way they were bunched together.
You know, Brian, I'd almost have to look at that again about where the four guys are.
Well, I mean, it wasn't as clear cut in that. Maybe you can go back and a step here or a step there. I don't know that the penalty made a big difference here.
You're right. Chicago did recover the onside kick, so even without the penalty, and the Bears will have the football, and the final 40 seconds will tick off. So now Chicago regroups and thinks about a big one next weekend in Philadelphia, where the Eagles were stung in a huge loss for them today at Minnesota.
And puts all that much more pressure on Detroit tomorrow night against the Baltimore Ravens to stay atop that NFC North.
And now on the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely. Coming up here in a minute on Fox, taking on another big one for the Green Bay Packers. Those two getting together next on Fox. That'll be the back end of our doubleheader. Well, coming up, the Pepsi game break. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, the scores and highlights. Fox Sports Ticker. That is coming up right now.
Welcome to the Pepsi Game Break Show.
All right, that Minnesota-Philadelphia game not over just yet. They're at the 2-minute warning. We're going to get you to Minnesota as soon as we can. Right now, guys, let's talk a little bit about what a big win this was for the Chicago Bears, Jimmy. This is a team, Jay Cutler started out slowly, struggled a little bit, but seemed to kind of find his rhythm and got him the victory.
Yeah, Kurt, I think it's mixed reviews, though, as far as Cutler. He was a little bit rusty. He tried to force the ball in down on the goal line, got the tip ball, interception, then he had a high ball, another interception, but obviously he gives them a little bit more firepower as far as putting points on the board. The thing that's most impressive, though, about Chicago is those wide receivers. They can get up and get the football. They've got great hands. They got great wingspan, so defensive backs are going to be too short to cover them, and it's a mismatch anytime they go up against any defensive back.
But the thing is, go ahead, Howard.
And the way they grinded it out in that final drive to go up by 2 touchdowns. Forte is a guy that we sit here and talk about. It doesn't look like he's running fast. It doesn't look like he's pulling away from everybody. The next thing you know, he's got 140 yards. He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, and the thing is with Cutler, back to Cutler, the fact that he threw those interceptions early. And we all sat here and said, we talked about that in the pregame, but he kept his composure, came back second half, had a much better game. And as you can see, no matter how great you think you are the player, when you take time off, there is a lot of rust. It doesn't matter what position you play.
He figured it back out. 9 for 14 on third down, 440 yards, 34, almost 35 minutes time of possession.
Yeah, if you just look at the score, you'd go, hey, this is kind of what they've been doing.
Yeah.
But you're right. The fact that he was able to come in, overcome his mistakes, come in at halftime, come back out, and he played a good football game, and Howie hit it right on it. When you can convert on third down, my friend, and you can keep those chains moving, and you got a team that that needs to get on top too. The Bears need to be on top.
This Cleveland bunch, with the stockpile of picks that they have, they're going to be good in the future.
All right, Minnesota with an 11-point lead right now over Philadelphia, trying to hold on. No Adrian Peterson, no problem so far. Here at the 2-minute warning, Kenny Albert, Daryl Johnston, and Tony Saragusa.
Getting ready for their game with a close eye on the Vikings and the Eagles.
Very close eye. Very close eye. I think they probably felt they let one slip away last week with their performance against Chicago, but Philadelphia today has brought Dallas back into it. I really expected Philadelphia to handle business today and next week and wait and see what Dallas was going to do against Green Bay and Washington.
We welcome those of you who have just joined us as Matt Castle hands off to Matt Asiata. Eagles are out of timeouts. Vikings lead by 11. Adrian Peterson inactive today following the injuries suffered last week in Baltimore. Toby Gerhardt, his backup, out as well. Season high 41 points for the Vikings, and LaShawn McCoy, who set a franchise record 217 yards on the ground last week against Detroit, fell to just 38 yards on 8 carries. McCoy and Peterson coming into play today, 1 and 2 in the NFL in rushing. Third and goal. It is Asiata, and he is in for his third touchdown today.
Congratulations to Matt Asiata. What a great day today for him.
Just a power runner right up the middle all day long, getting 2 yards, you know, whatever you need. Take a look at this shot right here. He's just coming straight downhill. Nice little cut right there.
Good job by Jerome Felton.
Lost the extra point for Matt Asiata. He had 3 career carries coming into the game today. 3 touchdowns against the Eagles.
Just wait for your opportunity to be a part of the team, to be able to contribute to the team. And he's taking advantage of that this afternoon.
And the 3 rushing touchdowns for Asiata ties a Minnesota Vikings franchise record. It has been done 16 times, 3 rushing touchdowns in 1 game, including 5 times by Adrian Peterson.
He's going to have his name on a pretty impressive list.
Chuck Foreman, Herschel Walker, also on the list.
That's some good names to be mentioned with.
Well, Chip Kelly said.
All right, due to NFL rules, we got to pull you out of that game and get you to your late game right now. The Vikings, most points they've scored all season. The Eagles, the most points they've given up in the last 10 weeks. If that changes, we'll get you a scoring update. But up next, it's America's Game of the Week. Most of you will see the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. That's next.
At Southwest, we don't nickel and dime you from A to B. We fly you from A to B. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
We've got great news for the health of your small business. Connect. Kentucky's Healthcare Connection is here. An easy, affordable way for you to provide your employees with the coverage they need. Simply log on to the site, learn about available plans and coverage options, and how your business might earn valuable tax credits. Healthy employees, healthy business. It's a win-win. Visit connect.ky.gov.
It's time to ring in the new year right at your Buick dealership. Make your resolution to join the thousands of people every month who are switching to Buick's innovative technology, design, and luxury. Get into the Buick holiday event with exceptional offers and get your year off to a great start. During the Buick holiday event, lease this new 2014 Buick LaCrosse with 2 years of Sirius XM for around $299 per month.
Did you win like April Brady of Florence? Check your ticket at kylottery.com to see if you're a winner.
For 60 years, the Swope family of dealerships has served Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, and Fort Knox. Our success is simple. Our customers say it best.
I've purchased 3 cars from Swope Toyota. I got an excellent deal here.
Swope Toyota service, it was just absolutely fantastic.
Our salesperson went above and beyond. It was a great experience. I came in. A couple of days later, I was out with my brand new car.
Swope, the only name you need for everything automotive.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
We are in Texas, and this is your home for Super Bowl 48. It's also America's Game of the Week, and a good matchup for you today. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, Troy Aikman right there. Pam Oliver is coming up. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. They know the Philadelphia Eagles have lost today. They have an opportunity in front of them, despite all the frustration they've gone through. The league's last-ranked defense, trying to win their first divisional title since 2009. The Green Bay Packers, Troy, thought they might have Aaron for this game. He's inactive, collarbone not ready So it's Matt. What are we going to see here today?
Well, I expect to see a lot of points here today, Joe. Neither defense has been very good this season. It's hard to imagine this not being a high-scoring affair. Now, there is some concern on the Packers' part in that Eddie Lacy comes into this game with a sprained ankle. He's been the workhorse for this offense, but they face a pass defense in the Cowboys that is the worst in all of football. Matt Flynn's going to have to throw the football, and I expect him to have success doing that.
For more on the Cowboys, let's go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, the talk around Dallas this week wasn't all that unfamiliar. What's wrong with the Cowboys, and can they avoid another December collapse? Well, having watched their overall division lead evaporate, this week head coach Jason Garrett demanded that Dallas live up to its potential. Referring to last week's blowout loss in 9-degree weather in Chicago, Garrett posed the question, are we going to be that kind of team who couldn't perform because we're cold? Well, Garrett stressed the Cowboys need to find their edge. He's challenged them to take ownership and do not squander yet another opportunity. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thank you. The Cowboys will start with the football. Green Bay will kick it away, and we'll get an early indication as to what the offensive attack will be for the Dallas Cowboys. As Troy mentioned, two defenses that have struggled. The Cowboys, one thing they haven't done is turn it over. It's something that Dom Capers and the Packers defense in years past have relied on. Out of the end zone, it's Terrence Williams, and the rookie got to about the 19.5. That's where the Cowboys will start. We welcome in a new audience as you will see the first play from scrimmage. And you'll see the Dallas Cowboys and Tony Romo, who comes in with the 8th best quarterback rating in the NFL. You see the numbers, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He's playing some of the best football of his career, but on a ball club that's only a game over 500. First play, it's Murray. And DeMarco Murray knifes through this Green Bay defense and picks up a first down. A good start for a ground game, Troy, that's really picked it up over the last 3 games.
Well, they sure have, Joe. There's been a real commitment to running the football, and Monday night they ran it really early in that ball game against the Bears, as well as you could expect in any game. They called 4 straight running plays to open up that game, went right down the field and came away with a touchdown. They open up today's game with a run as well.
That game did not end well, however, for Dallas. On that frigid night that Pam talked about, Chicago, Bryant. And Des Bryant is good for 9. Tramon Williams on the coverage for Green Bay. And we look at some of the guys on this 11-man offense for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's Murray, Bryant. And up front, they really hit with these 2 picks. Smith at left tackle and Frederick.
3 first-round picks have gone on offensive linemen. Tyron Smith having an outstanding year, and Travis Frederick in the middle having a great rookie season.
He's played all 16. There's Murray and a first down. Here's a team that's had a tough time stopping the run, and prior to the second half last week at home against Atlanta, they had really struggled, averaging 440 yards per game allowed. And we look at this group. You want to pick up front, the linebackers and the back end. They've been challenged all the way across. Mike McCarthy in his 8th season. He's been in the postseason 5 of his first 7. They need some help if they're going to get there this year. On first down, play action. Romo over the middle's got the rookie. And Williams down to the 30. 3 big plays to start the day for this Dallas offense. 27 yards to Terrence Williams.
Well, Green Bay commits a safety up to try to play the run. The Cowboys go play action, and they got Terrence Williams on a deep crossing route. Man-to-man coverage. It's a very difficult route to cover. And Terrence Williams picks up a nice gain.
The Dallas offense that, despite a better offensive line and weapons like Des Bryant, Jason Witten, and Miles Austin and Murray, comes in ranked just 22nd in the NFL. Here's Murray. Williams hung in there on the tackle, a gain of 4.
You know, Joe, you talked about that run defense for the Green Bay Packers, and yeah, they'd been pretty porous until last week. They tightened things up a little bit against Atlanta, but even with that, Steven Jackson averaged close to 5 yards a carry in that game, and it's a bit surprising because through the first 6 games of this year, the run defense was one of the real strengths of the team.
On 2nd and 6, with a fullback in the game, a nice play is made. And the play was made by Josh Boyd. He's a rookie out of Mississippi State, a 5th-round pick, and he play a loss of 3.
It's an outstanding job by Josh Boyd in the middle, and he's able to fight through the block and make a play. That's an outstanding job with an offense that's been moving the ball on this possession to force a 3rd and long.
3rd down and 9. Austin pass up, and the play made by Micah Hyde. And the rookie was there for step with Miles Austin, who has not been much of a threat of late.
And I just himself, and he's missed a game on a Campbell, and normally you play Miles Austin that kind of defense one-on-one, and you get in the middle of the field with all the quickness that he has. You're not going to be able to cover him, but Micah Hyde was able to. It's a good job defensively. Gave up yards, but tightened up when they had to.
Now the 47-yard try by Bailey. He's had a big year. Very good, and now 20 of 22 for the season. Points in a blink for the Dallas offense. Drive stalled after some big plays. 3-zip. Cowboys on top.
You know things will always change,